welcome to the third quarterly content training for elementary grades, kinder through second. I am Tasha Frazier. I am one half of the elementary math team. My partner is Valerie Bacci. So we're going to warm up with a game. We have an we have a winter emoji game that we would like to share with you all. You can collaborate with your colleagues, or if you're working by yourself, let's see how many you can get. We have 5 different titles of winter songs. You're going to go number 1, create the name of the song or think of the name of the song, and we'll come back and share the results. You can pause the video. All right, so let's see what you all came up with. Number 1, Frosty the Snowman. Number 2, Jingle Bell Rock. Number 3, hmm, that's right, Jingle Bells. Number 4, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. And number 5, Walking in a Winter Wonderland. We hope that makes you warm and fuzzy. And welcome to the training. Today, for our objective for kinder through second grade, I am learning to support the learning experience for quarter 3. And as an indicator for success, you all will be able to describe how engagement strategies and the coherence of concrete learning experiences impact student learning. So we're going to learn how to use those tools and manipulatives and what resources are available for us to support student learning. All right. So all of those goals and our success criteria can be achieved if we work with our 2024 core values for Dallas ISD. Number 1 is effective instruction. We need to ensure that our Tier 1 level of instruction is on or above grade level achievement. And to do that, we need to ensure that we are reaching all students at risk. Everyone should be able to learn at an equitable rate. And how are we doing this? With excellence, of course. We are committed to ensuring that we are pursuing excellence in the classroom. And I'm pretty sure that's the reason you are here. So, we need to make sure that we are attaining our target within Dallas ISD. We have the 90, 60, 30%. At 90%, we want to ensure that all of our 90% of our students are on grade level, performing at grade level. And then 60% of our students are at the meets performance. And last but not least, we would like for 30% of our students to be at the mastery performance level. So we are excited about the work that we are headed to do to achieve our target goals. And how are we going to do this? With the academic services, we are helping to ensure that you all are receiving instructional delivery, and design. So what we're presenting to you all will help us to achieve our goal. Now, what resources are we going to use in today's session? So at this time, I'm going to give you an opportunity to either use your phone. We're going to have some resources available for you that you can use your QR code. You'll also be able to use the bit.ly. There will be links available throughout the session that we'll have you to refer back and forth with. And it's great to have this resource available. So I want to give you all a few moments to go ahead and bring up this resource. You can pause the video. All right, so now that you have this resource pulled up, let's show you what it looks like. Here are some of the tools that we're going to be using. We have a quarterly calendar for all the grades, kinder through 5th grade. We have some videos and lessons that you all will be using, and then some parent resources. So this will host a wealth of knowledge. You're probably familiar with this style of our resource page, and we like to continue for it to grow during each of our sessions. All right, so let's go back to our presentation. Now that you have the resource page pulled up, which resources can we use for our tiered level of instruction? So, who's going to receive that instruction? We want to make sure at our tier one, we are using the Great Minds Eureka Math resource for elementary. Then, who is going to benefit? This is an image of the typical Dallas ISD classroom and the makeup of our students' ability levels. As you can see, we have 49% emergent bilingual across the typical Dallas ISD classroom. 21% of our students are at the comprehensive level, which means they don't fall in those categories. We have 18% of our students at the talented and gifted, and 12% special ed. And I want to highlight to make sure that at the 18% that we are not leaving those students behind within the talented and gifted program. They need to continue to show growth as well. So all means all. We need to reach all of the students at the different ability levels in our classroom. All right. So which resources can we use in the classroom? So, we've shared some similar ideas before, and we want to make sure that we bring back to the forefront of the tools that could be utilized in the small group instruction. As we know, when we have our problem set, we are not utilizing all of those examples and tools. So, you could use some of those other problems that you have not used. You can also use the homework, which mirrors what you've done in the problem set. And as you can see here, there are some small captions to help a student if you're not using it at home. So when you have your small group, that's an additional set of problems and examples that you can use with tools and resources for manipulatives for that. Then we also have something that we've been sharing. It's through Great Minds Eureka Math. It is on their website, but we also have a website internally within Dallas ISD. And this link is for the parent support resources. Let me show you where it is on your resource page. So if you go to your resource page and you scroll down and you go to the parent resource website, it is a treasure. There are resources here for both reading and math. Of course, today we're going to look at the math portion. So it's Eureka Family Support resources. You can navigate through the accordions to see, do you want English or Spanish? These resources can be downloaded and used with your classroom communication systems, whether you use Google Classroom, Class Dojo, or Remind. So let's look at second grade. So we're going to look at second grade. Let's look at module. Let's go to module 4. And so this tool could also be utilized when you're working with your small group of learners and you're wanting to have more authentic learning with them. So you can also use this in planning for your upcoming modules and topics. So once you click on the link, it goes to the entire module. And so this is module 4 and topic A. And usually there are 2 to 3 pages for each of the topics. As you remember that the topics are highlighted by the different lessons. So at the top right, we see that they're lessons 1 through 5. As a novice teacher or getting used to continue to use Eureka Math, you can use this as far as your prep. You'll be able to identify what are some of the vocabulary words that will be highlighted in those lessons. What are some of the strategies and new forms of solving the math problems and how will they look? This is working with the compensation for second grade. And then this is the portion where it says, how can you help at home? These activities, although some of them may be very short, but it could be a gateway into working with your students in the small group. It has activities where you're working with the students in real life examples, and a lot of the tools and resources here are easy for the parents to find as well. And so, for example, this one says practice place value understanding by asking your child to tell how many Ones, tens, and hundreds are in various numbers. For example, you say 134, and your child responds four ones, three tens, and 100. And this could also be done with playing cards. You can have a series of three playing cards, and you're just creating a three-digit number. And you can have this activity done with the student as far as the entryway to your small group instruction. The last bullet talks about play more or less, for example. I mean, for every number you say, ask the child to say that is either one more, one less, 10 more, 10 less, and that correlates to a lesson in the book. And again, you have additional terms and models, but this could be a great resource for you as an educator when planning for these lessons. Looking at your small group instruction, you can start off with some of these activities and then making sure that our parents are equipped to help their child at home as well. So, this is again tips for parents. You have the link for the website on your resource page, and so you can navigate using that tool with your parents. All right, so hopefully you found that helpful navigating through that website and looking at your lessons. So I want to just give you an opportunity. We're going to pause the video and you can look at your grade level for your module that's coming up. So pause the video and enjoy your exploration. All right. So hopefully you had a great time looking through some of those resources. If you could share with your colleague, what were some highlights that you're going to use? How are you going to use it for your small group instruction, or how could it help with your parent home connection? Okay, what are some of the resources that other resources that could be utilized in your classroom? So we talked about that previous slide on how you can support with tier one level of instruction. And then we have iReady for tiers 2 and 3 for the classroom. All right, now we know that Eureka Math, it's all about the story of units. So now we're going to get into what is upcoming for our modules for grades kinder through second grade. All right, take a moment and look at the screen and see, oh, what are you going to be teaching? This is just the first module within quarter 3 for your grade level. So I'm going to give you a moment to look over those and go ahead and look at the other grade levels as well. All right, now that you've had a chance to look over those topics that are upcoming for the different grade levels, what are some of the similarities that you all notice? Yes. So within all of the grade levels, we will be doing either some form of computation, whether it's addition or subtraction. So we'll be working with numbers. And we know that the modules for first grade and kinder, you had very long modules for quarter 1. And so now we're revisiting some of those concepts of making connections and working with the word problems, working up to numbers either 10, 20, or 1,000. So you'll have opportunities to collaborate and use some of those tools. And we're going to talk about how your support at your grade levels affect the upcoming grade levels to ensure that our students have a clear understanding. So how does this support our data that we received last year from STAR 2023? So here's our data for third grade. This is the data from our students who took the test during the spring. And as you can see, here are the results, and that the numbers in the red indicate what percentage of our students got those type of problems correct. And how our scores are reported for STAR is by categories. And category 2 is mostly operational, it's dealing with computation and algebraic relationships. So within that reporting category, there were 2 standards that were very similar to what you're going to be doing in quarter 3. So their first standard is 3.4A. It deals with solve with fluency one and two step problems involving addition and subtraction within 1,000 using strategies based on place value, properties of operation, and relationship between addition and subtraction. So our students had two of those problems. Now, what you're doing to make sure that our students are effective with the different types of addition and subtraction problems and strategies will definitely impact what's happening at third grade. Yes, they are learning new strategies in that grade too as well, but we want to make sure that what you're doing, our students are very comfortable with manipulating numbers and using strategies to help them solve those problems easier. Also, with the representation of what those problems look like, whether they've using strip diagrams and turning it over to a number line or equations. So of course that's what's happening in third grade. But you all are exposing the students to number synthesis, so that definitely impacts the trajectory of where our students will be and how successful they are with working with those numbers easily. And with that, we had 20% of our students to get those answers correct. So we know that what's happening this year and the subsequent years will make sure that our students are very successful with what's going to happen in STAR. So we just want to make you all aware of where our students are performing and how your work will positively impact our students' growth. All right. So take a look at how concrete experiences and engagement strategies can positively affect our students in the classroom. And when they're involved in those type of active learning, what does that look like? Take a moment and look at these five bullets and talk to your colleague or look at the one that really just kind of stands out for you. Maybe one that you need to work on more in your classroom, and one that you're like, oh, it's working for me. It's working for my colleagues. We've been collaborating and we've got this down. Okay. One that I like and it's really standing out for me is to ensure that my students, when I'm in the classroom, when I'm collaborating with teachers, that they are doing the math. And doing the math really involves them working with the physical aspects of the math, whether it's getting up, making a number line, a human number line, using the tools in the classroom, finding shapes that have certain attributes. So doing the math really stands out for me, and also talking with each other in small groups or large discussions. So with that, I see um, I want to always make sure that our rooms are set up to make sure that students can easily talk with a partner or turn and talk with someone. So our rooms need to be set up in group style, maybe groups of 4, groups of 3, depending on the number of students in your classroom, but that everyone has a partner and they're aware of who their partner is, and to ensure that that helps to facilitate the discourse, whether it's a partnership or a whole group setting. So if you found one that's something that you need to work on, whether it's using higher order thinking skills or constructing knowledge or artifacts, let that be part of your bucket list for your math instruction. All right. So now we are going to show you all a video. Now, with this video, I want you to look at your teacher moves, and this is a second grade classroom, and how can this video, watching the video prior to your lesson studies, help to support your thinking and help to smooth that transition when working with your students, especially with the content that you may not be familiar with. So we'd like for you to look at some of the teacher moves and some of the resources. So we're just going to watch a snippet of the video. And if you would like to watch the video in its entirety, you can go to your resource page, and right here where it says sample video training for grade 2, module 5, lesson 6, you can click on it at the bottom here. Let's see. At the bottom in the center column, you can click on that as well. So we're just going to watch a snippet of the video, but I want you to take note on how watching this video can help support your planning for instruction.
Hi, and welcome. This is Mr. Waldorf. I'm so glad you are part of today's lesson. Today we are going to be using compensation to subtract. The only materials you will need today are whiteboard and marker or paper and pencil. Let's get started. Before we do a warm-up today, I want us to look at these cubes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 8 cubes and 5 cubes. If I wanted to find the difference in these two cubes, what kind of number sentence could I write? I could write a subtraction sentence. 8 minus 5. And what is the difference between 8 and 5? We can see right here it is 1, 2, 3 cubes. So 8 minus 5 is 3. Now, what would happen if I added one more cube to each of these cube trains? Do I have 8 and 5 anymore? No, I do not. Now I have the numbers 9 and 6. So this is 9 cubes, and this is 6 cubes. What about the difference? Did the difference change between the two cube trains? No, it didn't. We still have a difference of 3. But what is our new number sentence now? It is now 9 minus 6. And what is 9 minus 6? It is also 3. We can again see that with our difference of 3. So our difference is 3 for both of these number sentences. This is called compensation. We can add something to both of our numbers when we are subtracting, and we can still get the same difference. Let's use that to do a warm-up. Okay, here's our warm-up. It is called compensation with subtraction. So I have a number sentence on the screen, 34 minus 19. We have a strip diagram showing 34 minus 19. When we look at this diagram, we can see the difference in the numbers 34 and 19. Now, how much does 19 need to make the next 10? It needs one more. So if we added one more to 19 and one more to 34, we would still have the same difference. But now we have two different numbers. Instead of 34 minus 19, what do we have? 35 minus 20. 34 and one more is 35, and 19 and one more is 20. Now, is 35 minus 20 an easier problem to solve? It is. We can just take 2 tens away from 35. So what is 35 minus 20? It is 15. And if 35 minus 20 is 15, then what about 34 minus 19? It is also 15. We can even write a number sentence that shows that 34 minus 19 is equal to or the same as 35 minus 20. All right, let's try another one of these. Here is the problem 43 minus 28. We can see that our strip diagram shows the numbers 43 and 28. And what we are trying to find out is the difference between these two numbers. Now let's think about this one. How much more does 28 need to make the next 10?
Great pausing moment. That gives you an opportunity to hear what type of questions the teacher is giving, and so that if you're not comfortable with your questioning in the classroom, you can see his pause moments. You can see some of the tools. We still have about 11 more minutes of the video that you can continue to look at a later time. But you can see how using the video can help you with your planning, whether it's looking at your questioning, which tools to use, how to draw the strategies, and the different methods that are being used. So some of you If you have not been able to explore where to find the videos, let's go to Great Minds. So this is navigating through Great Minds, Eureka Math in Clever. So we're going to go to grade 2, and we're going to go to our module, go module 5. And the videos are found within the lessons. So we were working with lesson 6. So I will click on the caret there and navigate to our lesson. Again, you can go to any lesson or the grade level, and it's listed under daily video. So you would click daily video, and anytime you see this world option, that means that Spanish is available. And there you go, there's your video. You're not able to download the video, but you can share the link to the video for someone else to view. So if you want to share it with parents as well and to students, we're not advocating that you show this video with students, but if parents are really gung-ho about helping their child at home and they want to know what those models look like and how to teach it, perhaps you can share the link. Or you could share the link amongst each other as colleagues. But these videos were created during the pandemic for, of course, for students to get that instruction by way of a teacher via like a webinar. Okay. All right, so let's go back to our presentation, and hopefully that was helpful for you, because we have videos that we are going to share with you that you're going to use in our next portion. So if you are working with colleagues, you can collaborate. If you're working by yourself, we're just going to ask that you go and help us to explore the lessons that you are working on. We have one lesson and one video to help you. And as you're looking at your activity, you will explore what types of engagement strategies could you use throughout the lesson, and what are some of the tools and resources. So what I would like for you to do, you are going to navigate through your QCT3 elementary activities. So let me take you back to your resource page. Your resource page, if you go to the participants notes page here, let's see where it says grade level activities on the left, you will click on that, K-2, and you will open up those activities. So of course, according to your grade level, you will go to that page. On that page, you will see a box where you can enter in some of your responses for engagement, and then concrete experiences for the lesson that you have noted at the bottom. So for this one, it's a kinder lesson. We have the entire lesson downloaded. It is 8 pages for you. Then also within that lesson, it did require some prerequisites of the students knowing about what is a squirrel and what is a nut, because they're working with word problems and those situations there. So we attach that for you. And then also there's the video. There's a video just like the one that we utilize in the second grade classroom, and you can click on that link. Again, these resources are listed in your on your page, but also on your resource page in the center column at the top. So you have your teacher edition lessons and videos there as well. So we're going to give you some time to work on that. You can pause on the video. It takes some time to look through the lesson, watch the video, look at how watching that video could help you with your planning, and whether you're working with your colleagues or working by yourself, and you can confer with other colleagues across the district. So you may pause the video and go ahead and start exploring. All right, so now that you've had a chance to explore, we would like for you to share your findings with your colleague if you're working with someone, and take an opportunity to think about how looking at these tools and resources could help your planning for PLCs or just your individual lesson planning be more productive. So you can pause the video to share your findings or to be reflective on how this could help support your learning. All right. So we hope that with the introduction of those tools or bringing those tools back to your remembrance, that it could help to make your planning and collaboration more successful. And if there is any vertical alignment, how could this help with that? Especially working with those models and to see if those models have been taught at a previous grade level, if you've undergone the pilot with Eureka Math last year. And if not, just think about how that could help support the learning for next year. All right, we would like for you to keep in mind that the best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. So just take an opportunity. This is one of our engagement strategies district wide that we have. It's quick write. So think about, how do concrete and engagement experiences impact student learning? Think about the work that you've done today. How can it impact student learning? You may pause the video and participate in the quick write. All right. So if there are any additional questions, you may email Valerie or myself, and we're looking forward to hearing from you.